Alright guys, Clash of Clans battle tutorial for Town Hall 7s. I haven't been doing so well on my trophies because I haven't been doing much recently. I've been kind of slacking. Been playing a lot of secondary AI, so I haven't been here a lot. I'm usually around 1500. This is our clan if you ever want to join. Alright, so now for Clash of Clans you got three main people that you want to use for this. These are going to be like your main guys that you're going to want to send in. So either you're going to want giants, because they will attack your defenses first, and they can soak up a lot of damage. Or you can use hogs. They don't soak up as much damage, but they can plow through things with ease. Or dragons. Now these are going to be more expensive. They don't target defenses right away, but they will take a lot of damage for you. And if you take out their defenses, their air defenses, they most likely will not stand a chance because their archer towers don't usually have the ability to take them all out. So what I usually do is get it over here. It's broken. This is what I used last time. I used the dragons last time. I have my hog army, and then I have this budget army. This is going to be like something that I'll show you guys that, like, if you don't have the hogs or the dragons, you can use the giants and stuff. So assuming you have the 200, so what you're going to want to do is you're going to want a few wall breakers. We're going to do the hog army, so you'll want a few wall breakers. You're going to want your wizards. You're going to want the lightning spell, the healing spell, and the rage spell. You're going to have your hogs, and oh my god, I hate it when ads pop up. It usually doesn't do this, but like, it's because of this stupid app that I have installed. So we'll get right into it. I'll just spend my gems so that we can either that or I'll do something else. We're not going to do any builder-based tutorials today. They're just collecting that. So, alright, so when you're going to do this, you want to find a base that has enough loot that more than the army costs. So, obviously, as you can see up in the corner, they do not have anywhere near as much loot as the army costs. You want at least as much loot as the army costs, or more. And look at this guy, right here. The only thing we're going to have to worry about is we cannot draw out the clan castle. Usually you want to draw out the clan castle, but this may or may not work. So, because of the clan castle thing, if their clan castle's full, it's not going to go very well. But we're going to try it anyways. So, you want to target whatever's their closest, strongest defense. In this case, we're going to do this one because it is harder. We'll send that guy in. Alright, now we're going to send our hogs in. Kind of want to spread them out a little bit. Just throw those guys in there just because. Then you're going to, as they're all in there, they're going to be distracting, and what's going to happen is they're not going to focus on your troops because you want as many archers and wizards alive at the end as you can, because otherwise what's going to happen is there's not going to be enough fast troops left over to kill them, to destroy everything else. So what you want to do is you want enough amount of, at least a good amount of extra troops left over, because otherwise what's going to happen is you're going to have the hogs, and you're going to run out of army space, well, run out of your army, and what's going to happen is you're not going to have enough to finish the battle. So as you can see, this is going very well. If your hogs start to damage, you want to find the spot where there's the most amount of hogs that are damaged, and you want to heal them. As they're working at this, as you can see, we're going to get plenty to redo another army, and we easily pummeled through this. And as you can see, it worked very effectively. The Barbarian Kings look like they went at it, along with some of my other troops, and it went very successfully. We absorbed any damage. The reason why we have this many left over is because our Barbarian King, you want to drop him first, because he'll absorb a lot of damage, and then you're going to drop your other ones that absorb damage in attack defenses, so that way the defenses aren't focused on the part of your army that's the most. Your archers and wizards together can do a great job in taking stuff out if there's enough left over. Okay, so now what I'll show you is the budget army. So, like, if you don't have a good army that has all this stuff, and, like, you don't have your dragons or your hogs, you can do this. And what will happen is, we will use this, and we'll do almost exactly the same thing as we did with the other army. But now, I haven't used this army in a long time, but I still know how to use it. So what we're going to do is, we're going to find a less stronger base, but enough to resupply what we just used. Well, what we just used to make the army. So let's see, how much did we just use? We used 118,700 elixirs. So we're going to go and we're going to find a base that has more elixir than that. Wow. It glitched out and didn't record any of that part. So, as you can see, we have almost burnt through 500 gems now. Okay, but as we were saying, we're going to go find something to do with our budget army. So, I've already wasted so much gems. We're fine on the elixir and stuff, so we're just going to do something. We're just going to find a base. I'm just going to show you guys. You know what we could do? I can show you guys the replays. Yeah. Alright, so this is what we did. So, oh no, this is not the one I want to show you. I want to show you the other one first. Alright guys, so here we go. So you want to lure out your the clan castle troops. Attack the nearest, strongest thing to you. Break the wall open a little. Drop in your giants. And then you want to surround the base with your archers. Add in your wizards. Once you get a little closer and your giants start getting hurt, you add a heal spell. The archers over here aren't doing too well, and the giants are, so you give them a rage spell, get them through that. They're pummeling through this base very nicely. They're making it. So as you can see, if you do this all right, you can take down a pretty decent base with a pretty beginner level army. This isn't beginner level, but like beginner level troops, higher level beginner level troops. So you can do a lot of damage with troops like this. You could take on a better base than this if you really wanted to. And as you can see, you did very well. You got more elixir than you spent. Good amount of cups. You did great. And then what you do when you're gonna go and if you're gonna do a dragon army, which is a lot more elixir.
Mine's like 200 something, 210 elixir, I think. But then what you're gonna do is you can find a base. There's some people that are dumb and they'll upgrade. They'll have a small base like this. And see, I forgot. No, this isn't the one. And then you're gonna have to lure the clan castle troops around. But what I was trying to do was I was trying to get them to stay next to this little air defense, but they wouldn't do it. So eventually, I was just like, whatever, let's just destroy them. So I lured them out, and I just dropped 2 lightning spells on them because they only have 1 level 1 defense. Because you'll find bases like this that have way more loot than they should be carrying with them. And then people like me will come along and they'll pop them open like a soda can and crush them in the crusher. Punch a hole straight through the strongest part very easily because they didn't do well designing this base. They could have designed this much better to withstand more. But as you can see, my wizards just plowed through that like it was nothing. You may have a good barbarian, but if your base is lacking, your archers can stay alive and take out that barbarian alone. So we'll do a design-based video at some point explaining those basics and everything, but as you can see, just throw in your rage spell. Why not? Unless you want to save money, which I don't need to worry about that, but why not get it done faster? And then what I did was I decided to show you guys a little harder base than this one because this one was pretty easy to get through because they did a bad job on doing things and they rushed. That's the key thing to this game. Patience is basically the name of this game because this is what happens when you don't have patience. I haven't rushed a single upgrade. I rushed all the time when I was on my other account. I chose not to rush, and actually, you get through things faster because eventually you're going to get to the point where you're so high up that you can't successfully do an attack, you can't successfully defend against raids, you can barely do well in clan war, and you're basically just screwed, and you might as well delete your account and start a new one. So now what we decided to do, now this one I forgot to do the clan castle troops, and if this base was any bigger, it would have been really bad, because I forgot to lure out the clan castle troops, and these people, there are people that will do this. They'll upgrade all their defenses, and then this will happen. You'll get raided by someone who does air defense, air attacks. And see, what you're going to want to do is, if you accidentally do this, you're going to want to lure them into a specific area, and you're going to want to drop the wizards behind them while they're focused on other things, and it'll take them right down usually. Alright, so now that you've done this, you want to add in the rest of your troops. Once you do that, you add in your wizards, your dragons, obviously. The mortar was far enough away for us to add in our troops before our, see, but the thing about this dragon army is you don't really have very many things. What we also forgot to do, what we would have done is you want to drop in your barbarian king in first, but we forgot to heal him. So he couldn't go in first, so that's the reason why you should attack the side with your troops that doesn't have the mortars, and hopefully your dragons will go in and take those out for you. So as you can see, they designed this base poorly, and our dragons are going through and taking out the mortars for us, while the archers are safely on the sides. Luckily. And you'll plow through a base like this, but as you can see, the only thing we had left is these guys, so we're lucky that their air defenses and stuff were down and they didn't have air traps and stuff, and that this base was the size it was, because otherwise we would have probably lost. So, as long as you guys do everything right, just don't rush, man. It will really mess you up. You can rush a tiny bit if you really feel like it, but don't rush so much that you get to the point where you're just screwed.